this is just gonna be something different, man. I don't know how many people are gonna actually see this. I don't know how many people are actually going to listen. I seriously hate myself, man. I just have a lot of hatred toward myself. I was pretty close to deep six in myself earlier, and hurting people that I didn't want to hurt. It was rough. I I hate hurting people. I work with helping people to help them, and I don't know. I just I called a lot of people. I gave them my wife's number to, you know, get a hold of her and just in case they wanted to see my son. My thought was when she's off taking him to the park, ended right there. Wrote a note, talked to a few family, made some apologies, let them know how much I care, and started Googling quick ways to end it. Kind of kind of hard being suicidal and having a will to live. And so my logic was get rid of the will to live. So I've been drinking the whiskey, try to know my senses. I've done a lot of things to a lot of people in my lifetime. I've hurt a lot of people and never thought twice about it. But this one's different, you know. This is something else. This is nauseating, excruciating. This is painful, I suppose. I don't know what it is. I don't know what exactly to feel. All I know is I don't want to feel this anymore. Um, the self sabotage, the constant regret, the fear of being like someone else, living in their same footsteps, and when you care about people and you realize how bad you hurt them, maybe you're not the hero. You think you are. Maybe you're not the protagonist, maybe you're the antagonist. texted myself and my wife about my thoughts and shit, and nobody really cared. That's what I've been dealing with. A lot of feeling unheard, a lot of anger, frustration, and even now, I feel like no one truly cares. I feel like I have a handful of people that might miss me, but when you rationalize that you'd be better without, and it starts making sense. I don't know. I spent most of the day in tears. It's kind of funny. I called suicide hotline with a fucking, I think it's 688, and they didn't fucking answer. Uh, I'm a person for theatrics. I had Sadness and Sorrow playing. Yeah, it's a song from an anime I like, Naruto. The third Hokage's funeral. Call it more self destructiveness, but kind of wanted to go out listening to that song, you know? I mean, it's rough. This is rough. I don't expect anyone to ever see this, but I have lived one hell of a life. I have traveled to places family doesn't believe. You know, I woke up one day, I wanted cheese. So I drove all the way to fucking Michigan to get cheese. Just woke up one day. I had a racist ass friend. Well, his dad was racist. He was a cool guy. And he was very colorful with his racial slurs. He put his hands on my friend. He put his hands on my friend's mom. So I had him sent away for a very long time. I went through my life thinking I'm the hero. It's me against the world. There, maybe all the bad things that happen to me is the world trying to balance things out. Maybe I don't deserve the happy ending. My life is a series of, if I told you it all, you wouldn't believe it. Whether it's an ex girlfriend that faked her own death, whether it's hunting boars in Texas and almost dying, or moving to New York done a lot of shit, man. I didn't have the greatest upbringing. I feel like I was a handful as a child. I did a lot of things. But before all that, one of my earliest memories was trying to escape preschool. And I got to the top of the fence, but the fence had these barbs. It was sharp at the top, you know? It's not like how some fences have like rounded off edges. They were sharp. I was gonna walk home because my mom used to walk me to preschool. So I knew the way. I got to the top and cut my hand. And I've seen plenty of people like cut themselves, cut their hand, scrape their knee, and I was expecting there to be blood, but I remember looking at my hand and I saw no blood. I didn't bleed at all. It was it was weird. But in that moment I felt special. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was opening it up, looking inside. I mean, hindsight being that what it is, I probably shouldn't have did that, but I thought it was special, man. Right alongside that earliest memory was my mom and dad fighting. Me minding my own business and them yelling and screaming. It's kind of funny what parents think kids don't pay attention to, you know? My parents used to tell me how smart I was and whatever. I remember my mom so mad at my dad, she threw a fucking fish tank at him. And like, the bitch wasn't empty, it was full of fish and water and rocks. And she just fucking launched it at him, like on some Hulk ass shit, man. I was just like, whoa. I couldn't get that thing to move as a kid, you know? To me, just watching her fling that heavy ass tank, I was like, whoa. I remember the police showing up and they gave me a little silver badge sticker. While the other one was talking to my parents, one of them was sitting outside with me. I didn't truly understand what was happening, but it wouldn't be the last time. Time and time again. So much violence, so much destruction. I knew it wasn't normal, but I also thought it was normal. Does that make sense? I I found solace in gaming. That's why I game. That's why I occasionally stream. I like watching people play. I like people watching me play. And when I was 6, I got my first game. I got it on my birthday, May 26, 1999. 6th birthday. I got Pokemon Blue and a greenish, bluish Game Boy Color. I remember us driving across the country from San Diego, California, all the way to, I think, Charlottesville, North Carolina, or some shit like that. And I'd play that game all day. And then at night, anytime the street lights would pass by, I'd try to do something else, you know? I wasn't the strongest reader, but I got better at reading from video games. It's kind of funny, right? 6 years old, and I felt like I learned how to read from video games. By the time I was in first grade, I don't know why, I became a troublemaker, man. Who knows? Maybe it was a rebellious thing, or maybe it was, I don't know. Fuck, I couldn't even come up with an excuse, honestly. But stole my mom's engagement ring, gave it to a little girl in my class, and like, as an adult, when I tell this to people, everyone's like, "Oh, that's cute." Yeah, my mom did not find that cute at all. The opposite of cute, actually. You know, truthfully, the beating I got from that would have made a pinata jealous type shit. And that was my first of many. I remember more ass whoopings than I remember of anything else. I stole a Game Boy in second grade from somebody because my mom took mine. I've probably had a gaming addiction since before I could genuinely remember what an addiction was. I remember she took mine, so I took somebody else's, and I continued to play my games. When they asked me where I got it, and I was like, oh, it was in the prize box. Y'all remember those prize boxes? You good, and you get a little prize. As a kid, you don't really think about your lies. You just kind of say it because it made sense. But obviously, they knew I was lying. I didn't realize how expensive those things were. I mean, it's not like nowadays where you can buy a $10 version that has like 1,000 plus games on it. You know what I mean? Back then, it was a Game Boy or nothing. $200 right there. That's fucking crazy. But I had a lot of beatings. A lot of them I earned, and a lot of them were very much overkill. I didn't know what a stable family, stable relationship looked like. I'd see shit on TV, but you know, even as a kid, I knew a lot of that was fake. I I'm the smartest dumbass y'all ever meet, man. I was hacking MacBook computers in seventh grade. That thing that fucking the FBI and CIA or whatever couldn't do. I did that shit in seventh grade. changing motherfuckers' grades. It's kind of funny because I got caught not because somebody told on me, but because I told on myself. I printed flyers. I printed flyers, and that's how I got caught. I got into a fight with this dude, Brent. Um, I don't even honestly, I don't even remember actual factual what that fight was about or what led up to it, but I do remember he pushed me into the computer. You know, he pushed me into the desk that had my computer's laptop on it. And dude, in my mind, the computer broke. I pushed it off the desk or whatever, and I broke that laptop. And dude, I was so angry. In my mind, my dad was gonna kill me, and if I gotta die, you have to die. And I beat the living shit out of this kid, man. I just remember like taking his. I remember those old school overhead projectors. You know, the teacher would have this like clear plastic paper, and she would put the problems on the. I beat him on top of it. Just kept bashing his head in, and I just remember that blood spot getting bigger and bigger every time I bashed his head in. And then some classmates tried to get me off of him. I mean, we're in seventh grade. I was surprisingly strong despite how skinny I was. It took the entire classroom and some staff to hold me back. They had to pull me all the way out to the hallway, and it took all of them. Even in my blinded fury, I just thought, I just thought I was special. Thought of how strong I was. It took all of them to hold me back. I'm the fucking shit. And as I sat in the principal's office, waiting, I'm like, my dad's gonna kill me anyway. Can't get any worse. I saw this motherfucking kid's face. I fucked him up. I fucked him up bad. And my thought went from, my dad's gonna kill me over this computer to, my dad's gonna kill me for almost killing him. And I remember Officer Elliott coming in, you know, the school safety officer. And he looked at me and he was like, your dad's on the way. And I looked at him and said, I know. I remember him saying, what was it? You know they could press charges. You could go to jail for that. And in a split second, I weighed the options of going to jail or being beat by my dad. I looked at him straight in the face and said, can I go to jail? And he looked at me and laughed. I guess he thought I was joking. Yeah, I got the shit beat out of me that day. On the way home, every stoplight, every stop sign. I swear to God, man, I ain't never seen so many red lights one after another in my life. But every time that car stopped, pow, right in my chest, right in my arm. I started praying to a God I didn't believe in. Please let this next one be a fucking green light. It wasn't. It wasn't. Fucking red light after red light. I got home, got my ass kicked. Everything that led up to this was kind of like, warm up. I got the shit kicked out of me, man. But in fairness, even as a kid, I was like, I deserve it. I fucked this kid up. I it's it was no bueno. I fucked him up, and my dad in return fucks me up. I wasn't much of a fighter. I wasn't a kid that got angry. I was very much don't fuck with me and I won't fuck with you kind of kid. I've kicked people off of moving buses. I've beat up people on the way to and the way from school. People twice my size. I've always been tall and lanky and talked a lot, so I got picked on a lot. And then people realized I'm not the one that you probably should pick on. I don't know, like bullies clearly don't talk amongst their friends. Um, but I wasn't always like that. You know what I mean? I used to be a huge pacifist. My little brother used to have to fight my battles for me. I would uh, I would get bullied at school. I would get bullied at school, and back then they didn't look at it as bullying. They saw it as a fight. I never fought back. Didn't lay a punch. Didn't raise my hand. I just took that ass whooping. This is pretty much every time up until like fifth grade. I would take that ass whooping. I didn't even dream of fighting back. And then I would get suspended from school. The school would legit suspend me, saying that I was in a fight. And I never raised my hands, never struck, never did anything. And then I would go home and I'd get my ass kicked again. I got suspended from school. After a while, they learned that it's not because I'm not just getting suspended from school. I'm getting suspended from school for not fighting back. I'd go to school, get my ass kicked, go home, get my ass kicked for getting my ass kicked, and then go back to school to receive yet another ass kicking. When my brother started going to the same school as me, he's 3 years younger, he fought my battles for me. He may have been the source of a lot of my ass kickings growing up, but I know it's fucked up, but my little brother was like my hero. I don't know, maybe my parents beat the aggression out of me at that time. My brother didn't receive the beatings I got. So when people picked on me, he fought for me. And as an older brother, I probably should have shame, but back then I had no reason to feel shame. I mean, yeah, it's my little brother, but I didn't want to fight nobody. They picked on me because I had buck teeth and I talked a lot. I mean, there's no lesson to be learned from that. So my little brother fought for me, and I didn't think shit about it. Eventually, they were like, "Your brother is not allowed to fight for you anymore," and so he didn't, because otherwise he would get the ass kickings I would get, and I can't hold him to that. I can't get mad at him for that because let's be real, those ass kickings, man, they were excessive sometimes. And so my little break of getting my ass kicked all the time ended. And it was back at it again with the new Vans, so to speak. People tried to make fun of me because my brother can't fight my battles for me or some shit. And rinse and repeat. Get my ass kicked at school, get my ass kicked at home, get my ass kicked at school, get my ass kicked at home. And one day I just had enough. I had enough. They said something to me that my mom had said. If I said what it was, I'd be lying to you, but I snapped. I remember being in that fucking elementary school bathroom, man. I fucking snapped. Just tears and rage was all I remember. I remember, I lied. I remember one more thing. There was this little bitty nook um, in the back, and this dude kept pushing me and pushing me, and he pushed me all the way to that little nook. And as I snapped, I remember bouncing from side to side off the walls, getting higher and higher. And then I just fucking punched him in the face. And I just kept beating him. All the anger I felt, all the beatings I got, all the beatings I wanted to give my parents. He took the ass kicking of a lifetime that day, man. And every person that bullied me after that received the ass kicking that I wanted to give my parents. I had a lot of anger. And despite my anger management, no, by the way, me kicking people's ass sent me to anger management. All that anger I had, I don't give a fuck what no one says, man. I had a valid reason to be angry. I'm getting beat seemingly every day for shit I don't even understand. I know a lot of my beatings were because I was stealing, and stealing is wrong. But I remember one time I stole something from a store, and my mom beat my ass. And then when my dad got home from work, I shit you not, they high fived each other, tagging each other out, and my dad continued to whip my ass. That's some shit that lives rent free in my head, in my memories. And I didn't grow up with the best of examples. I One thing I used to ask is, how do you know what love feels like? Nobody ever told me. Nobody ever gave me a clear answer. I couldn't begin to honestly tell you back then what love was. I sure the fuck didn't learn it from my parents. I mean, they hated each other. I don't remember a time where they acted like they love each other. My dad made it a point not to be around, or he played his games. And my mom, I mean, similar situation. Pretty much the only time they got along was when they were beating my ass, which is a crazy thing to bond about. You know what I mean? I hate you Sunday through, Saturday, but we can bond, make it a date night, kick our son's ass. I mean, sure, he stole something, but we're gonna literally beat him like he stole something. Crazy thing. Genuinely crazy thing to seemingly bond over as a kid. I probably know about more about my parents than I probably should. I know their history. I know what they will admit. I know what they won't admit. And what I know doesn't necessarily come from them. It comes from like people that know them, people that have like no stake in the game, no horse in the race. Like them lying to me wouldn't benefit them at all. I I know too much about my parents. Maybe part of that is the reason why I am the way I am. Black people don't really do mental health very well, but I learned how to be in a relationship mostly from my peers. I knew that, throwing a fish tank at somebody isn't exactly the way you should say I love you. But I also grew up in a household where that wasn't actually said, actually. I can maybe count on one hand, maybe two, how often my parents said they loved me. Ah, from my memories, it was just one ass kicking right after another, with a commercial break in between. It wasn't like an everyday thing. I'm not gonna sit there and paint them more of a villain than they were. But it's hard to remember my childhood without a week without me getting beat. You know, I can look back as an adult and say like I deserved a lot of it. I was a rough kid. I think some of my inappropriate social etiquette does stem from, the lack of interaction with my peers since I was kind of always grounded. I mean, if you want to get technical, I was grounded so long they forgot I was grounded more often than not. Like double grounded, grounded squared. Like, can you imagine how long you have to be grounded for your parents to forget you're grounded? I don't know about you guys, but my parents would take everything away: games, TV, everything. All I had were books in my room. It was like prison. I mean, hell, even prison gets TV nowadays. So I guess by today's standard, it was fucking worse than prison. I could come out to eat dinner and back to my room. It's fucking insane. My dad would, I mean, out of the two parents, my dad was probably the more lenient one. But comparing the number one to the number zero isn't actually all that impressive. You know what I mean? Some would argue like the lesser of two evils, but they're both fucking damn near Hitler level. I am a fucked up person. Yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those people that blame everything on my upbringing, man. I mean, I'm not. At the same time, I'm not gonna pretend like my upbringing didn't shape me to who I am. I'm so tired. I'm so very tired, man. I don't know. My dad tells me I should write a memoir. I mean, I don't laugh at his face, but I internally laugh. If I wrote a memoir, it's like I don't think you realize you don't come out like the hero in this story. I feel like everybody wants me to write a memoir. Ooh, you should talk about your adventures. Meanwhile, I'm like, man, I can't just talk about my adventures. I gotta talk about it all. I mean, aside from my grandmother, pretty sure most adults in my family come out looking like bad guys. And granted, that's almost 25 years ago. There's a lot of personal growth everybody makes. Hell, you're not the same person you were last year compared to this year. Growth happens every year, every month, every week, every day. Some of them probably won't even recognize their prior self. I'm sure you all know somebody that when you confronted them about some of the stuff that he used to do, they have no recollection of what you're talking about. Hell, even my mom was guilty of it. I mean, I know based off my stories, that's like pretty easy to believe. So I don't know why I'm saying it like as if it's some hard to believe fact, but was kind of her thing. If that's what you believe happened, I just remember looking at her like, bitch, the fuck you mean if that's what I believe? Nigga, I was there. I seen it. I felt it. Fuck you mean if that's what I believe? I didn't write a memoir. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Commercial breaks of happiness? Nah. What would I even call my memoir? Learning alone or the sandwich? That's what I would call it. What is your sandwich? I have hurt a lot of people, man. So a lot of people deserved it. Yeah, I'm talking about my three fucking roommates that kept eating my food, man. Those motherfuckers got food allowances from the university, and they kept eating my food. I had to work for my food, man. So yeah, I got a little even with them. I don't even know what I'm trying to get out of this stream. I'm just talking my thoughts at the moment. Every thought that comes to my mind is kind of like, are pop ups still a thing? Y'all remember pop ups? I mean, if you do, that's kind of what my mind is like right now, you know? I focus on one thing and then, oh, by the way, look at this. Oh, by the way, look at that. I'm very lucky to have the friend that I have. Even though he's busy a lot. We don't shoot the shit like we used to, but he's always there when I need him. As chaotic as my life is, he's probably the only constant. Known that dude since he was a kid, since I was a kid. Yeah, well, young adult. I know this might hurt my brother's feeling, but shit, this nigga's more like a brother to me than my actual brother sometimes. I I appreciate a lot of people in my life, man, and I don't give people the appreciation that they deserve. I mean, I do at work. It kind of just comes with the job. But I'm talking like in my personal life. I don't give people a lot of appreciation because I don't know. I grew up without it. I mean, I know I'm not a greatest example of someone who gets appreciation, but or doesn't or whatever. But I appreciate people in my life. I feel like my biggest regret is not saying I appreciate you to the people that matter most. I I'm a very flawed person. I don't know how to genuinely mean it when I say I appreciate you. I say it mostly because I know you people want to hear it. Does that make sense? Like when I say it, people think I'm being sarcastic or something, and I'm meaning to say it, but maybe I don't say it the right way. I don't know. I do appreciate the people in my life that are at least halfway constant in it. I like object permanence, but there's a handful of people my mind just won't let me forget. You know, my son, the wife. I mean, they don't count. I see them every day, but people I don't see every day, like my sister, Shane, my mind won't let me forget them. I I don't know why. They're out of sight, out of mind, but even my brother, if I know something's going on, my mind's like, oh, by the way, call Dallas, call Amaya, call Shane. I feel like that's the only time I really reach out to them nowadays. It's when I'm going through some. Kind of makes me feel like I'm a shitty person or a shitty brother, you know? Kind of reminds me of what like my parents used to say, or my dad at least. I only reach out when I need something, and sometimes it's just to talk about my issues, but I guess that's still a need. It's not like I do it on purpose. It's just when something bad happens, my mind goes, call this person, and so I do. I don't know. Maybe the tism be tisming, but in my mind, it's a good thing that I come to you when something bad happens, you know? Like, despite me forgetting you exist, my mind always says I should go to you if I have problems. I don't know. I would feel good that someone always comes to me. I think it, I think it's pretty cool when people say, "Hey, man, I appreciate I can always come to you." I think that's a fucking good ass feeling. But as my wife has pointed out, as my best friend has pointed out, not everybody thinks like I do. Hell, my brother's pointed out that shit. I don't know. I'm supposed to be eating a sandwich and hydrating, but all I can think about is just talking about my issues and drinking my problems away. I know that makes me sound like someone in recovery or some sort of addiction, but sucky thing about having a memory like mine, that you can remember almost every mistake. I couldn't forget them even if I wanted to. I can forget people exist, but God forbid if there's a memory I don't want to have. Facing the reality of the people that I hurt. That's hard, man. I I really do hate myself. I'm going to therapy at 1. I seriously wanted to deep six myself. I wanted to drink my feelings. I wanted to suppress my will to live with alcohol and listen to a beautiful song as I go out. It's fucked up that I think that's more beautiful than I deserve. I think that's way more beautiful than I deserve, man. Sadness and Sorrow is such a beautiful song. Ah, man. I don't know what else to talk about. Maybe I don't deserve love. Someone who could never genuinely understand it. I mean, I don't know. What I do know is I'm not going to deep six myself tonight. I wrote a suicide note and everything, man. I don't care what no one says. I think the scariest thing about suicide is not actually doing it. It's when you have your mind set up and something changes your mind and then you look at the things that you were going to try to suicide with, the note, the pills, the rope, the belt, whatever. And that weird sense of relief in your mind, like, thank God I didn't. But at the same time, there's a little voice in your head going, you couldn't even do that right. Isn't that fucking crazy? Two parts of your mind. One's like, don't talk about it, be about it. And another part's like, man, you dodged a bullet. I was prepared. I was seriously prepared. As someone who's drowned, drowning's not the move, but my options are slim. I don't know. I genuinely don't even know why I'm doing this. Maybe it's just something to take my mind off of things. Maybe it's just keep me anchored. Maybe I'm just gonna fall asleep while streaming. I haven't even ate my sandwich yet. I haven't eaten all day. I don't even want it. God damn. If this is what genuine regret feels like, man, this sucks. Or maybe this is something else. Guilt? I don't know. I try to live by a creed of, make a plan, stick to the plan, always deliver. Yeah, that's a Storks reference, but god damn, is it not a good quote? I'm glad I didn't deliver. I can't fix any problems if I'm gone. But I can still feel and hear the void calling. Kind of like a wind whispering in your ear, you know? I went to the store to try to do something different, and I had a mild anxiety attack when I cut my car on. Heart racing, arrhythmia, I couldn't breathe. I had a panic attack because the difference between alive and not alive is not even a 3-degree difference. 0 degrees is straight, 3 degrees is side of the road, a tree, a truck right next to you, oncoming traffic. 3 degrees is all it would take. And that thought's been in my head all day, man. I called Shane because I didn't trust myself. Even though my mind is like, I'm good for now. That void, man. My heart hurts. That void calls. And so very tired, man. I'm so I'm so tired. I don't even know what this stream was for. I just looked at my computer and I'm gonna do something different. I don't even know what this was supposed to fucking accomplish. This was fucking dumb. This didn't make me feel better. This didn't give me no clarity. I don't know. I mean, I'm talking to myself mostly, aren't I? One viewer. It's probably just, it's probably just me or something. Maybe I'm doing this stream for myself. Maybe it's for me to watch it. Maybe for, I don't know, maybe it's for Dion. Maybe it's for the wife. Maybe it's for my brothers. I don't know. I just know that I saw my computer and it said stream. Well, more accurately, it was do something different. Doing something different. Just talking my thoughts. My crazy, crazy thoughts. Isn't it crazy how self destruction works? Things are going good and your brain just goes, I'm gonna end it myself, bitch. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for my actions. Well, if this ever reaches some people that I've hurt, I know this probably doesn't mean shit, but help me ready to deep six myself might fill your stomach with butterflies, but I am sorry, yo. And I know a generalized apology to an unknown number of people that I've heard probably means shiest, but I hate hurting people. I'm so tired. I'm looking at my sandwich and thinking, wow, that would make a great pillow. I'm, I'm not going to eat it. for a bit. Just a little bit. I'm just so tired. I'm not signing off, I'm just relogging. Smile. Even though I'm hurt, you see, I smile. I feel so much better with you now. You look so much better when you smile. So smile. 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 Even though I'm hurt, see, I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even then, I've been here for a while. I smile. 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 Give up. It's so hard to look up when you've been so down. Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. Just smile. Ah, shit. What is it, midnight? Today is a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart. It feels like it's a cold night. Today is a new day, but where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright. I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now. I smile, even though I'm hurt, you see, I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile. Smile. It's so hard to look up when you've been down. Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. So smile. Oh man. You know, ah, kind of crazy. They used to play that song during church when I was in the Air Force. I would used to go just so I could get out of like cleaning detail and shit.
kind of funny that you can't appreciate a song until you're living the song, I guess. I don't know. Maybe, maybe I should smile. I don't know. I want to work on my book. I might do it tomorrow. Or maybe this book will be incomplete. Maybe let my son finish it when he gets older. That'd be kind of poetic, wouldn't it? I feel like that's a whole movie. You know, father dies. He's an author or something. I mean, he would be an author, but his son finds the draft for a book, an incompleted draft. And in reading this book, I don't know, the son feels a connection with a dad he never knew. He starts imagining his dad as the main character in this fantasy. And as he ends the book of what his dad wrote, he wants to know more. And so he picks up a pen and just keeps writing where his dad left off. He's making the ending for his dad that he never knew. God, that would be such a sad movie. Like, kid's depressed, maybe an orphan or some shit. Nah, not an orphan. Single mother household. On the kid's, I don't know, kid's like 12th or 13th birthday. She hands him a notebook saying something like, your father wanted you to have this. And, I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, sad, but kind of cool. watches this and steals my movie a day, you know, credit me or buy me a Tesla, bury me with that Tesla. Hmm. That'd be also kind of cool. But getting buried in a coffin, bury me in a fully functional Tesla. Show up to the afterlife in style. I was buried in a box. I was buried in a fucking car. That'd be kind of cool. What do I want? What is the purpose? I'm actually curious. Hmm. 988 suicide hotline. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this here. I got a phone call to make. Um, yeah, I was trying to think of a last quote to say. The void calls and whispers in echoes too deep. In the hush of the night, where the lost ones weep, it hums in the silence, it sings in the dark, a formless embrace, both hollow and stark. It reaches through walls, through the cracks in your mind, a shadow unseen, yet truly unkind. It speaks without voices, yet somehow it knows the weight in your chest, the ache that still grows. But listen, hear me instead. The void is a liar. It lives in your head. There's light on the edges, though hidden from view. A voice in the distance is calling for you. Hold on through the echoes. Resist its demand. For hands are falling asleep. For hands are still reaching. Just take one and stand. The void still calls, but softer when love finds a way, and morning still rises to cradle the day. Hmm. The void calls softly, a breath on the glass, a whisper behind you, that shadow you passed. It wastes in the stillness, the bend in the road, the weight of a moment, a shift in your load. 3 degrees, so little, a flick of the wheel, the line between silence and silence that peel. A heartbeat, a choice, the grip of your hand. One keeps you here, one buries you in the sand. But the void is a thief, a cruel little lie. It tempts you with endings, with peace in the sky. Yet life is still moving, a breath yet to take. A sunrise not seen, a love still awake. Steady your hands, hold fast in your lane. The difference is fragile, but so is the pain. And pain, like the night, will break with the sun. Stay in the driver's seat. Your story's not done.